Smoove Boxing TV, episode 3.
Yes, sir.
The best boxing show in Las Vegas. Here to update you on fight analysis, boxing news, and men's mental health tips to keep you guys on point.
Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms, YouTube, for Smoove Boxing TV, Spotify. So go listen, download the episodes, while you're working out. NIG, of course, fresh_Smoove Boxing TV. That way you can stay ahead, when we drop any latest news and obviously episodes.
So this is Don't Miss TV.
Not at all. All right, so
real talk.
Let's go with some real talk, man. You want to get started? You want to off?
I'm gonna just touch on. I'm gonna touch on today about patience, man. You know what I mean? I just did a move out here, and I've been dealing with a lot, and I'm just working on having patience, man, because I just truly believe that cooler heads do prevail. Even though as us men, we're just meant to endure and just stand there big with our chest out, but you gotta be smooth. You know what I mean? Because no matter what life throws at you, man, you gotta just keep pushing, and you can get through it, man. So that's what I got today. Just cooler heads prevail.
That's right.
And have patience, man.
That's right.
No matter what happens, take it on the chin and keep pushing. You know what I mean?
Keep pushing, baby. So I wanted to touch on first, real quick, on becoming, because a lot of times we forget that first we have to be more in order to be able to do more and receive more. So when you think about the person that has all the successes that you want to have, that has reached all these goals in business and personal goals, think about what that person actually looks like. Think, and it usually doesn't look like yourself.
Yeah.
It means
you got to step outside the box to get better.
That and you think about what characteristics that person has, what kind of habits that person has, what kind of disciplines that person has.
For sure. Right,
and then think, wait, I'm not. I'm just running around here doing this and that.
XYZ, like come on.
XYZ, right? So you gotta definitely become a more righteous person. You gotta build better habits. Yeah. And one line that stuck with me all last few weeks is, it's super simple, man. Is the more disciplined you are, the easier your life will be.
Absolutely.
It doesn't get any simpler than that, my guy.
And just discipline and having patience, man. That can go back into what we talked about last week, instant gratification, man. Like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta just lock in and focus on yours. You know what I mean? Don't worry about what's going on the internet, or you know what I'm saying? Like, lock in with you. Lock in with yourself. Yeah.
All right. So big drama show last night. Big drama show.
The city was lit.
We're gonna get into that for sure, man. Vegas was on fire last night. Fight was a little underwhelming though. But let's get into it, man. How did the fight go for you?
I'm gonna just tell you, just right off the top, man. Triple G, that's my guy, man. You'll see how I talk about him, but he just looked old, and Canelo was a bully last night. He picked on the old man. But Triple G got a chin of iron, man. Canelo couldn't even get him out of there, and I was surprised. Canelo, this new style that he has, coming forward, throwing those big shots.
His jab was so sharp last night.
He just out jabbed the jabber, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
His jab, super sharp.
But like I say, Triple G, he was old, man, and
I feel like Canelo should definitely.
He could have got him out of there. But then plot twist, Canelo got tired, and then Triple G turned it up. It wasn't anything spectacular or like fight changing, but he turned it up and he showed flashes of the past. But we're not in 2017 or 18, so
not at all.
It's just a different ball game right now. Canelo's in his prime. He looked good. And I'm waiting to see what's next for Canelo, man, because he has to get in the pond with those sharks now.
Yeah.
And them sharks, I mean, Benavidez. Just Benavidez.
He said just Benavidez.
Just like...
Nah, I mean, he has all the belts at 168, so he's going to have to defend him.
If I'm not mistaken, he had undisputed on the back of his shoes last night. So you gotta prove yourself. And then not saying he hasn't, but we got Benavidez out there, we got Charlo out there, and these are the fights that people want to see. Us boxing fans, back in the day in the 80s, the Four Horsemen, they all fought each other. Right. We want to see these guys fight each other. That's all. It's just for love of the sport, man. Like, step in there and get busy. If you're the best, prove it.
Yeah, I want to say, people were upset about the fight taking so long to happen and this and that. I'm like, man, what do you want Canelo to do? He fought the man twice. He needed to take his time down South Beach. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to explore the waters a little bit. He went up to 168, got that big deal from the zone, one of the biggest boxing deals ever. Got paid. He went up to 168, got a belt. Then he went up to 175, got another belt. So, he just wanted, he wanted to test the waters and do what he had to do, test himself at the same time, different weight classes. And so the fight took what it took, but, I'm actually glad it's over with. They got it done.
It's done, and we move forward. I look at Triple G, man, and I think he had an amazing career. He's been a great ambassador for boxing. Stand-up dude, how he carries himself and everything, but I think it's time for him to hang it up. He says he feels great and wants to go back down to middleweight and defend the belts. I mean, if you want to go back down and just give it one more so you go out on a win, and hang him up, bro. You got that tough style, man. I mean, that don't last long when you bang like that. So, shout out to Triple G, man. You my guy. Great career. See what's next for you, but I just think you should hang him up, man. You got nothing else to prove.
He has 2 belts at middleweight.
Yeah, you got nothing else to prove, though, man.
He's gonna have to do something with. So we'll see what was that Canelo though. He's gonna be. They're gonna have to throw a lot of money at him. I know these networks are gonna want him for at least a 2-3 fight deal. He's 32 years old now. Most boxers. I mean, he looks like a young. He's in his prime. He's a young 32. So hopefully he gives us another 4 years. I'm thinking he hopefully gives us another 4 or 5 fights. Maybe he'll sign a huge.
But he said, and I quote him in the press conference. He said he's not ducking no fights, and that the fights there's going to be some fights made. You know what I mean? But there's some dogs out there, and I mean even at 175, if Bebo wins, that could be a potential match. I mean, he has so many options right now. I mean,
he said he wants the Bebo rematch, so we'll see if he really wants that. If Bebo, takes care of Ramirez.
I mean, I just really want to see the Benavidez fight. He said Benavidez only beat one champion, Anthony Durrell. He's bashing him. I mean, he actually stormed out of the post-fight interview after they brought up Benavidez. He said, "I'm done here, and I'm pissed off."
Okay.
So I mean, like I say.
Let's get into same night, right on the undercard. We had a newly crowned flyweight champion, Jesse Bam Rodriguez. Bam, and he, people were giving him a lot of slack. He won, unanimous decision, saying that he looked rough and it was a closer fight. Maybe he could have lost. I'm like, come on.
Well, to me, he just showed not only heart, it showed he got skills and he belongs where he's at right now.
Sharp.
You know what I mean? His other opponent came to bang, and made it a tough fight, but I mean,
I think he definitely was. I mean, it wasn't even close to me. I mean, he landed the sharper punches. He was controlling the rounds. Yeah, the other guy came to fight and he put up a good fight, but it wasn't close for people. Nowadays, it's like if they're expecting him to blow this guy out in 4 rounds, and because he didn't, or he's having some tough rounds.
He had a rough fight. He had a rough fight last night. He was all banged up. You know what I mean? His face showed from the war. You know what I mean? But he showed that he belongs there, and that I'm waiting to see what's next for him, because there's some more heavy hitters out there that he's gonna have to go through. And I mean, to me, I feel like he's proven. But
Romulo Chocolatito Gonzalez is ranked number 1 by WBC, so he's gonna have to see him. So
and he took down 2 weight classes this year, and I'm thinking that he's going for Fighter of the Year, because I mean he did a lot for boxing this year. I don't see why he can't win Fighter of the Year.
We'll see. Let's go across the pond, guys. This is on the this is the co-main event of the Clarissa Shields.
Alycia Baumgardner versus Mikaela Mayer for the super featherweight 3-belt unification.
Big fight.
It's huge.
The fights got postponed, as you guys know. Queen Elizabeth.
R.I.P. to the Queen.
Queen Elizabeth passed, and all sport events got canceled. As you know, as it happens in the country, and shout outs to the UK and everything. Everyone in their mourning. We're excited to get back to boxing.
I'm gonna just jump right to it. I mean, there's a lot of bad blood there. So.
Bad blood. Mikaela Mayer versus Alycia Baumgardner. This is a unification fight. Mikaela Mayer is.
She's all about business.
17-0, 5 KOs, and Alycia Baumgardner got 1 loss, so she's 12-1, 7 KOs. Like you said, bad blood. These girls don't like each other.
Bad blood, but Mikaela's all about business, and she can box really good. I mean, she's really built for that weight class.
Definitely.
But she's fighting a banger, man. So this could be fireworks. You know what I mean? It just depends who shows up and what they want to do. Because Mikaela, she has the skills, but sometimes she likes to get in there and just start banging. For what? I don't know, but I just say that I think it just gets too easy for her in there. She's having too much fun, so she makes it hard for herself.
She likes to. She definitely doesn't mind taking one to give one.
Yeah, Baumgardner's skills are underrated. She's a big puncher, and she really sits on her shots too. So I mean.
But you definitely don't want to take no shots from Baumgardner. You don't want to trade. Trade from her. The girl is strong as an ox, and man, like she has dynamite in her hands. It's gonna be a dynamite fight.
And she's gonna have to make it a broader for me to win that fight. You know what I mean? Because skills pay the bills. You know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know, man. I don't think Alycia got a good jab.
Yeah.
She got a good sharp jab as well. So it's gonna be a.
Well, if they get into the jabbing game, if she can beat her in the jabbing game, that's gonna force Mikaela to exchange, and then she's gonna be wide open to who knows what. So.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's gonna be a good one, guys. That's just that's a no. You don't want to miss that fight, man.
Definitely must see TV. We'll give you guys more updates on that, especially with the reschedule. It got rescheduled now to October 15th. And tons of fights happening on that.
What's your prediction on that?
My prediction?
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards Alycia, man. I mean, I love Mikaela, but I'm leaning towards Alycia.
I just say that.
I just like her skills. I like her jab. If Mikaela a lot of times gets drawn into brawls with people, and like I said, Alycia can box and brawl, but she definitely takes advantage of the fact that people want to brawl with her, and she got some leather, laid some leather in people. In her last fight, she knocked her out really bad. So
it was bad. I just think my private prediction is, Mikaela's just the better boxer, and she has the better amateur background.
Okay.
And you know what I mean? You beat me easy when you box.
I staying in the UK on October the 8th. We have Conor Benn versus Chris Eubank Jr. On the zone. I know you guys saw all the commercials for it last night.
It's a big fight right here. I mean, we got bad blood from the 90s with their pops fighting each other.
Twice.
Yep. And I believe, with one draw.
And Senior won the second.
Senior won the second one.
Eubank
Got the second one. So this is like for the family bloodline right now. He got to get in there and make it right.
yeah. I just, Eubank, he's a middleweight, and Conor Benn is a welterweight. You don't throw your. And by the way, Conor Benn is an upcoming bright young star, great fighter.
And then this goes back to Eddie Hearn. He's always giving his prized possessions to the Wolves. Like, see how he comes back, missing a leg, missing an arm. Like, it's just
right.
Cause
so I guess we got to do a whole segment and just talk about what Eddie Hearn and Matchroom and how they sometimes they
threw Joshua to the Wolves. They threw Joshua to the Wolves and
big gambles on their fighters. Kell Brook, threw him in there against Golovkin.
Golovkin broke his eye socket.
Broke
his eye
socket. Pretty much, that was the start of the end of his career.
Yeah.
He retired. Say you can see he can still fight. He retired. Because of all the wars he been in. It really started with the
Golovkin.
With the whooping Golovkin put on. So this could be that, guys. They don't put they make weight classes for a reason.
They're fighting at a catchweight, but still, man, this guy he hasn't even fully developed in the welterweight division. I feel like, you know what I mean, like. Let him fight the best in welterweight, and then you guys can do this way down the line. But hey, we're here now, and it's time to fight soon. So
at the end of the day, they're prize fighters, and they make their own decisions. Conor Benn being a welterweight, I guess they needed to check. He took the fight.
He has good power, but is he going to carry up to that weight when you're fighting somebody way bigger coming down? He's probably going to be trying to walk him down and just walk through him. That's my prediction. I think he just walks him down and breaks him down to the body, beats him bad. I just could get ugly.
All right, well, Conor Benn, he's 21-0, 14 KOs. Last two fights ended by knockout, knocked the guys out. Pretty senseless. And then Chris Eubank, 32-2, 25 KOs. He's currently ranked number 1 by the WBA, and 2 by the WBC, and then 2 by the WBO. So he's in line to get those titles, to get those title shots at middleweight. I know Golovkin's gonna, we'll see if he wants to defend some of those titles or he wants to let them go. So I know Chris Eubank called him out last night on Twitter.
Yeah, but he don't want them kind of problems, even though old Triple G man still take care of that.
No, we'll see. Very recently on Twitter, he called out Anthony Joshua since Usyk had, I guess, an injury. He wasn't ready to take a fight in December. He's not on Tyson Fury terms. He's ready. They want the fight, but just not on Tyson Fury's terms. So he went and called out Joshua. Joshua said they accepted all terms and they're ready for the fight.
Well, you say that, I say this. I say that, don't count Anthony Joshua out on this one just because styles make fights.
That's right.
And if you look back in history, I believe Joe Frazier lost twice to George Foreman, but he beat Ali. So just because Usyk came up weight and beat him doesn't mean that Tyson Fury can, even though I believe Tyson Fury is a different monster compared to Usyk. But he has time to make adjustments in his style. You know what I mean? He can work on his defense. He can work on some more skills as far as offense, everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, AJ coming off his loss to Usyk, people are saying that AJ should, take a fight off, maybe fight a lesser opponent, and just kind of, get on a win streak a little bit. He just, lost 2 fights in a row.
But 0 for 3, I mean, it's career ending.
But I'm saying is, this is the fight that everyone wanted to see before these Usyk losses, and if they don't get the fight in now, I mean, we might not get it. Tyson Fury was just retired.
Absolutely.
Right, so he might just say, I'm not waiting another year and a half, 2 years to wait for Anthony Joshua to get back with me. Like, no, and I agree with Anthony Joshua taking the fight right now. Just take the fight now.
I feel
get
it.
it done.
I feel it, but he's gonna have to work on his skills when he has to get right. Because if he comes with that same game plan he did with Usyk, it ain't gonna work. Tyson Fury is a different kind of monster. So
That's true. That's true. All right. Well,
see them lock it in. If they decide it, then we'll be covering it.
Speaking of monsters, big puncher, big monster. Tank Davis. Recently, him and Ryan Garcia have been going back and forth on Twitter. Ryan Garcia, as you know, he's 22-0, 19 KOs. He's one of the brightest stars in boxing. Huge following on social media.
You don't know my boy.
And
Tank, shout out to Tank. That's my guy, man. Look, man, I'm in the art of banging and can't get people out of there. And Tank seems to be one of the top dogs to do that. I just think that's going to be a little bit too much for Ryan Garcia. He bit off more than he can chew with this one because
people say Ryan talks a lot, and
the internet chant.
All we've seen is from Ryan Garcia is the fact that he can back it up. He's been winning. He wins his fights. Sometimes
but
not super.
Who's he really fighting?
But he got one impressive win against Luke Campbell. He got that knockout,
but he got knocked down. And if he's standing straight up and down, with Tank, I mean, look, I'm not being biased here. I'm just calling it. I call it spade.
He keeps his hands down a lot.
Yeah, if he gets caught standing straight up and down with Tank, I mean, those shots they're not something you can take. You don't have no window for opportunity to make a mistake. So
we'll see if the fight gets made. I know it's golden.
They're definitely talking about Tank getting in the ring in December, and Garcia's ready for December too. They both had, fairly easy wins. Obviously Garcia more than Tank. He just fought Rolly, but I mean he handled business, and I mean this is bad blood here.
Will we get it or not? The only thing that I see there is the whole Golden Boy and PVC and Al Heyman, and those two.
But when the fighters want to fight, the fighters want to fight. I mean, sometimes they gotta they gotta bend and fold and make things happen.
That's true, very true. So I think if they do fight, I think I do got Tank as well. I mean, a lot of people are gonna pick Tank.
What round you think? Give me a round.
Give me a round. I got him going out and getting him out of there in like 4 or 5. I just think Ryan Garcia, he always keeps his hands down. He backs up with his hands down. He makes a lot of mistakes in there, and one small mistake, I mean, Tank hits like a Mack truck.
Boom!
Boom! It's like a shotgun. So it's lights.
And this block ain't no safety, like he's saying.
Right. It's gonna be lights out. So let's stay tuned. Let's see. Hopefully it happens.
I hope it happens, and we're looking forward to it. I mean, it's gonna be a good one.
All right. So, speaking of good ones, we just announced not announced yet, guys. It's just it was brought on. ESPN said that looks like the initial talks are pretty much going through and everything looks good. And November 19th we will get Spence versus Crawford.
Man, listen. When I seen that news, it was just a sigh of relief. I was just like, finally. But it's not signed yet. But if they read the terms, I mean, I don't think anything's holding this back from this fight happening. And man, Vegas is going to be an atmosphere that is got to be here for that. This is our modern day Hagler. Not Hagler. Leonard Hearns.
That's right.
This is our modern day Leonard Hearns, and
That's right.
and I'm so super excited for it. This is literally the best fighting the best.
How do you think? What's your early fight prediction?
For early fight predictions, you know who my guy is.
Go first, good.
I like Spence, man. He's just a lot to deal with. He's a textbook, straight in your face. Cutting the ring off. That jab is just nonstop. I mean, he's a lot to deal with. He's the bigger dude. Nothing against from Crawford. Crawford is the most craftiest guy in boxing right now. With the moving and the all-around skills. Yeah, but I mean, you gotta get through.
So you going Spence?
I'm going Spence. You gotta get through. How you gonna get around that?
That jab.
How do you get around
constant pressure? I just think Crawford is a master boxer. And I'm the biggest Spence fan, but Crawford strikes me almost like a Mayweather type of guy, where it's like he's gonna find a way. You know, he's gonna find a way to get.
And that's the beauty. That's the beauty in this right here is that who's gonna prevail? What's gonna prevail? You know, is it the pressure of Spence or is it gonna be the boxing IQ and the movements of Crawford to get the job done? So this is a no-brainer right here.
For undisputed,
all the belts.
All the belts in the line.
I mean,
so,
it gets no higher than this platform right here. We got these guys both in their prime, and they're ready to make a statement. So, I mean,
see what happens. All right. So, speaking of big money fights, the Money Man, even though retired, is back. Floyd Mayweather is back. Just an exhibition fight, but we gotta talk about it a little bit.
Floyd, I love you. Yeah, I love you, Floyd, but you gotta stop beating up on these cab drivers.
No. Hold on. He ain't fighting no cab driver now. Hold on. Look, Floyd's fighting Mikuru Asakura. I hope I'm saying your name right. He has a huge following on YouTube, by the way. Like 2.6 million followers on YouTube. September the 25th. That's a Sunday.
When I say cab drivers, I just mean as though, you know, not boxing opposition. You know what I mean? Floyd's the best. When you're the best of the best, I mean, he's going in there and toying with these dudes. You know. So Mikuru Asakura, he's a great mixed martial artist. He's 15-3. And you know, Japan usually gives them their best. You know, when they pay Floyd for something, they'll give him like one of the best fighters they have. But the best they have is fighting the best ever.
Right. So you know, when you think about it, it's like a tall order to tell someone, hey, you know, put these gloves on and go box Floyd. You know, like how crazy that sounds. See, I'm boxing Floyd on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Like
you want me to jump down from here and end up like Christopher Reeves?
Yeah, so, but nonetheless, man, the guy is funny, man. Definitely check him out. 2.6 million subscribers on YouTube. Recently, he put out a video.
I don't know if you guys seen that.
We seen the video he put out. So he put out a video with Manny Pacquiao training him, and then the title was, Manny Pacquiao training to beat Floyd Mayweather, training me to beat Floyd Mayweather, and it's gotten so many hits. And Manny Pacquiao showing him like how to jump in and out, showing him the jab, and I'm just like, wow. So
I mean, if they're doing all that, and Floyd at the post fight, you know, or the interviews, the press conference, whatever, you know, he's just talking like, you know, we train a couple days and relax a couple days, like,
Floyd didn't know about that.
Cooler than a fan. Cooler has prevailed, like we talked about earlier.
Yeah, I just think it's a really cool thing that.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I love to see Floyd and what he's doing, man. Like I say, the man proved himself in boxing. Now, let's get serious now. He proved himself in the sport of boxing, and it's okay for him to go step out and just make a couple extra bucks and chill. He's having fun with it now, man. He beat all the best, and he made it look easy. So respect to Floyd, you my guy. And
he gave his life to boxing, and now he's just reaping the fruit, you know, like you said, the fruit of your labor.
Absolutely, and he has all the right to do what he's doing.
That's right. So we won't get off of that.
But definitely tune in. I'm definitely gonna watch. Definitely,
we're gonna get into big fight. Big guys back to the heavyweight division.
Two big heavyweights.
For
Joyce.
Number one WBO, number two ranked by WBO. Be fighting September 24th in Manchester.
September 24th at the AO Arena.
So this
is going down.
Joyce, the juggernaut, guys. He's 15-0. Right, 15-0.
Versus Joseph Parker.
Where's Joseph Parker? Joyce is 14-0. I'm sorry, 14-0, 13 KOs. So big puncher.
Well, Joseph Parker is the WBO Intercontinental Champion, and Joyce is currently number-ranked WBO International title holder champion.
So the winner of this is basically going to be in line to fight, you know, whoever has
Usyk or Fury.
Yeah,
or if it's Joshua.
Joyce, he's a big dude.
But Parker,
good jab. He throws good combinations. Not sure if he has the experience yet to take on Joseph Parker. But then again, Joseph Parker, you know, every time he has a big fight like this. You see when he fought AJ, when he fought Dillian White, he lost.
Yeah, but Parker has 2 defeats, but he's on a 6-0 win streak, switching trainers and teams, and I mean, you know.
I just don't believe in his power, to be honest with you. You know, it's like
he's more of a boxer.
He's more of a boxer, and he also does enough. He doesn't actually like just take it there.
And then he has to get in there with Joyce. That's a freak of nature, 6'6". I mean, just.
The Juggernaut.
All kind of trouble. Just, I mean, he breaks people's faces. I mean, I don't know if you guys heard. I'm dead serious. Literally,
He does.
He's a little older, so he's 36. So that's the plot twist. You know, he's getting old. He? But I mean, he's been looking good. I mean,
he came into boxing at an older age. He was in sports before, but nonetheless, on the 24th, it's gonna be fireworks. It's gonna be again on the 24th. We got a lot of boxing on the 24th is happening, and so Joyce for Joseph Parker. Definitely tune in. It's gonna be a exciting fight to watch. Two big experience. We're with a lot of skill heavyweights going at it, and like I said, the winner's gonna have to, go in there and do it out with either Usyk or Tyson or Joshua, whoever has the belts.
I mean, what's your prediction?
Maybe like 6 months to a year from now.
Yeah. What's your prediction on that?
I'm taking Joyce.
I like Parker. I don't think he knocks out Joyce, but I think his boxing carries him through, and his skills pay the bills around here. So that's how I feel.
I'm just gonna go with the fireworks of Joyce. He showed up. He's been showing up. He's been knocking guys out. You said Parker just been doing enough. So if he doesn't come to really get the job done, he's gonna get put to sleep because this guy, like I say, he's a Terminator. Break your face, like it's over for you, man. All right, well, that's at the O2 Arena in Manchester. Huge day in boxing as well. Shakur will be fighting on that day as well. So definitely stay tuned for that. And sticking with the bigger guys, we wanted to touch on a little bit about the middleweight division. Middleweight division is going to be on fire. So Golovkin, as you know, has those 2 titles. What's he going to do when he's going to drop them? What's he not going to do?
Triple G's coming back, and he said he feels good, and he said he wants to keep fighting. He said that if opportunity presents itself, he'll be ready, and he's up for the challenge. So, okay. I mean, to me, he's still the king down there, even though he's old. I don't see anybody that is Golovkin certified to take Golovkin out. I mean, Golovkin.
So let's talk about it. So we got Jamal Charlo. You got to be fighting soon. We got Jaime Munguia. 40 wins, 32 KOs. You're a big puncher. He fights for the zone.
Of course.
And then you got Carlos Adames. He's ranked #1 by the WBC. DR in the building. And Boo Boo. So Demetrius Andrade, he's a WBO champion. He's actually relinquishing his belt if he went to 168. And so then that's another belt that's going to be up for grabs. So basically, the middleweight division is going to be a lot of belts up for grabs. It's
smoking, and now with Triple G being vulnerable with his old age, we can get some good fights. Charlo, before I think Triple G would have killed him, but now we might actually get a good fight out of it just because Triple G did show signs of being old. What are these guys going to do? Are they going to step up to the plate and take the belt, or what? Who would you most like see him fight? That's what I say. If he doesn't,
I mean, the more likely fight is probably going to be like a Jaime Munguia, because they're already fighting on the zone. It's already a DAZN fighter, and who else is on there? That's pretty good. Carlos, Adames,
Charlo.
Charlo's PBC. We'll see what happens with Charlo. I know he's going through some personal stuff, online, but we just care about boxing. We don't care about people's personal life.
We want to see the best fight the best. The best fight the best.
Interesting plot twist. Since Andrade is moving up to 168, he's fighting for an interim belt. Basically, he's fighting to become the #1 challenger for WBO at 168. So then Canelo, he's trying to line himself up for a Canelo fight, which he's been, Andrade's been looking for a Canelo fight forever.
Yeah, and he has a real slick style. I mean,
southpaw.
Nobody really likes to get in there with him. You see him at the post fight with Canelo. Get the fuck out of here.
So Demetrius Andrade, shout out to my peoples in Rhode Island.
I like him though.
I love Andrade, man. Big fan of Boo Boo, and I just want him to see him finally get a big fight. Finally, actually,
he deserves it.
Deserve a big fight and deserve it. I mean, every time he's had a big fight when he was gonna fight Saunders, it didn't work out.
For him.
So I'm excited for him to actually go up there to 168 and hopefully get a big fight.
But speaking of Charlo too, he needs to start fighting people because his resume is not really that impressive to me.
Not at all.
So you got to start getting in there and fighting. Start mixing these guys up. That's what I'm saying. This is the problem in boxing right now, that they're not classic. That's what I was just touching back on. Just fighters fighting each other in these weight classes, man. Like, we want to see them actually engage because they a lot of them are being held back, being, you know, walked on a leash, kept safe.
It's all on the fighters because at the end of the day, if you say, look, this is the fight I want, and I'm not, you know.
And they're still having trouble when they do that, though. It's these bigger companies behind the scenes. They want to get the most money out of these fighters, but it's time. We deserve to see these fights, and we want to see these fights. So that's where I'm at with it.
All right, y'all. So wrapping it up.
Thank you for tuning in. Episode 3.
Make sure you like and subscribe. We'll get you guys on the next one. Dropping episodes every week. So catch us again, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram as well. Fresh and Smooth _ boxing.
Yeah.